All right, guys, welcome back to Talk Breasty to Me, featuring the Shitty Titty Talk.
The Shitty Titty Talk.
We have Rosemary, the founder of 305 Pink Pack, aka the best nonprofit in the world.
Totally agree.
So sweet. She is our special guest today, and she holds a special place in both of our hearts because when we were diagnosed, we turned to her, and she's going to tell you all about a little about her. She's also a breast cancer survivor, so we'll get into her details and then what her nonprofit stands for and what they do. So let's get into it. Let's talk a little bit about you, what age you were diagnosed, everything that goes with that.
Yes. So talk to us. Can you share with us your breast cancer experience? Like Crystal said, how old were you when you were diagnosed, and what led you to starting the organization 305 Pink Pack?
Sure. So I was diagnosed at 40. It was my first screening mammogram. I had gone to a brand new doctor because I had swelling in my hands. I had just had a baby, and my hands were so swollen I couldn't open any baby bottles. So I didn't have a primary care. So I asked my mom, "Who's your primary?" And I made an appointment with them. After all the entire exam, he says to me, "Okay, we'll run all your tests. Here's a call Baptist, do this, blah, 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 blah." And I'm walking out the door and he says, "Oh, by the way, I'm also sending you your mammogram." I swear he heard my eyes roll because I was like, "Oh my God, why am I going to?" He said, "Listen, you're 40. It's time." Mind you, I had just had a baby. So I had been seeing my gyno regularly for the past 2 years. We never had this conversation. So I had no idea that it was time. And I was like, all right, fine. Had he not told me that I could get it done at the same time and place as my other tests, I probably wouldn't have done it.
Wow.
So that man saved my life because when I was diagnosed, I was already at a stage 2 with 4 tumors in one breast and never felt a thing. I had no idea. And the way that I found out was that when I did the first mammogram, they told me, "Hey, don't be surprised. They're going to call you back because we can't see anything. Your breast tissue is too dense." I said, "Okay." So I come back for the next thing, the ultrasound, and the technician says, "Well, let me have the doctor come in and talk to you for a second." He comes in, fantastic bedside manner, and says to me, "Oh, well, we're going to go ahead and biopsy you because although it's unlikely that 2 tumors next to each other are both cancerous, we have to check anyway." I was like, "What? Excuse me?" And so that's how I found out. And sure enough, when they did the biopsy, the doctor who was doing it, you could tell right away that she knew.
You feel it, and it's like such a daunting experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She knew, and then went through the whole process. I had an amazing surgeon, Dr. Montner, which we all know. We love her.
Yep.
We're big fans.
We share the same surgical oncologist.
She's amazing. And the moment I met her, I was like, this woman is a rock star because she had so much confidence in what she was telling me. And everybody and their mother asked me, "Well, why don't you get a second opinion? Why don't you get I'm like, I don't need one. I've got Star Montner and I'm good. Thank you very much."
Isn't it so reassuring to just share something, in common, but also just reflect on how amazing and how badass of a surgeon she is.
Yeah.
I mean, she's the one here in South Florida.
No, totally. I absolutely agree.
I hope everybody flies down to come see. You know what I mean? It's so crazy, but I feel like it's so cool and so exciting to just have this all in common and not just breast cancer.
Exactly. It's we're connected. We're totally
Exactly.
connected. And yeah, I had the most incredible experience with her, and from the moment that I met her, I knew I was in the right hands. I felt really, really happy and really comfortable with her and my team, with Dr. Medina, who's my plastic surgeon. And so when I started, we thought that it would be surgery and that's it. That would be the end of things. But we ended up double mastectomy and then chemo and then radiation and hysterectomy, reconstruction. And then my body said to the implant. So I had deconstruction. And so now I'm flat, as you can see, flat and fabulous.
I love it. I was going to say
And,
flat and fabulous. I love that.
I love it. I get some very interesting questions sometimes, which I'm like, why would you ever ask somebody that? But okay. I'm very open with my story. So if somebody wants to talk about being flat after breast cancer, I'm more than happy to talk to them about it. And I think it's a great option to have, especially if you have the kind of lifestyle where you kind of want a one and done type of surgical procedure, because with implants, you do have to change those from time to time.
Yep.
So I'm very happy with my decision doing that. It's not for everyone, and that's perfectly fine. We we all have to be confident that whatever decisions we make with our surgical and treatment plan is the best decision for us. You know, everyone's different.
Yep.
So yeah, so that's
have a
that's
question.
where we are.
Were you able to preserve your nipples?
No.
Why not?
So my tumors were too close to the nipple. And so they said that they would try to save them if they could, but they were too close, so they opted not to.
What's life like without nipples?
It's fine because I don't feel anything anyway. So if they were there, I mean, I don't think I'd feel anything anyhow. And the 3D, the nipple tattooing, which some people are big fans of, kudos to them. I would feel completely freaked out with one, but
Right.
that's just me. So
Yeah.
I do not want one.
So it's so funny how you well, it's not funny, but it's so funny how like we're talking about, you know, and now I'm thinking about it because there was like one thing, and I spoke about it last week. It was that whole text message that I received from you when you told me the night before my double mastectomy, and you're like, take a very hot shower. And I remember receiving that text message, and I remember texting my husband and telling him like, Rosemary just told me that I need to take a really hot shower, and he's like, okay, go do it. And I was like, but I don't know why. And then when you had said like, this will probably be the last time you ever have sensation there, I was like, wow. And I remember listening to my favorite Taylor Swift song and blasting it and dancing in the shower with my shitty titties. And like, it was like the last time it was like the last time I experienced it. And it was an experience for me because I said goodbye to them, and it was like closure. And I think it's so important for women that go through a double mastectomy with recon or without recon to experience that. Like blast, you know, your favorite song and like say goodbye to your breasts. And like, to me, I found closure, and I was like so excited the next day to just like get them out.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm ready.
And then it also wasn't a surprise
Exactly.
when you didn't feel the hot water running on
agree.
you. So I always try to tell people that because I mean, surgeons and our doctors have to tell us so much information that specific detail
Nobody
often gets
tells you.
often gets
there's
overlooked.
so many other things that they're
Exactly.
telling
There's
you.
a lot of stuff that you have to, you know, really be on the ball about. But that piece of information was actually in, oh my gosh, she was in Good Morning America and she had the affair with the guy, Amy.
I'm not sure.
Newscaster. Well, anyway, she was on Good Morning America. She's not on there anymore, but she went through breast cancer.
Okay.
And she mentioned that specifically in one of her interviews and in her book, that she wished somebody would have told her that you lose sensation because she would have really enjoyed that last shower. And I was like, oh my gosh, that stuck with me forever. And I don't even know why, because I didn't know, you know, I heard that way before I was ever diagnosed. And so standing in the shower, I probably was in there for a good hour and a half, and just gave myself the time to just meditate, think, cry, laugh, whatever I needed to do at that moment. But it gave me that chance to say goodbye. And you need to give yourself that opportunity.
Correct.
As women, we always put ourselves on the back burner and take care of everybody else first. And that's really a time when we need to give to ourselves.
I agree. And thank you so much for that, because I hold that very close to me. And it's something that I will never forget. And I feel so good, you know, because people are like, every single time someone talks to me about it, they're like, but those are your breasts, and those are things, you know, that female have that, you know, it's attached to you and stuff like that. And I was like, it's fine. Like, I had my last moment with them, and I was like, thank you for the good times, but that's it. We're done, you know? And it was a great experience. And I'm so, so, so happy and fortunate to have had that experience. So thank you so much. And thank you obviously to the 305 Pink Pack and, you know, for Dr. Mautner introducing me to it, because there's so many wonderful things that your organization has brought to not only me, but Crystal and to our community. So talk to us a little bit about 305 Pink Pack. Tell us what it means to you, what it's all about, and how you empower women.
Well, so 305 Pink Pack is 305 because we work with women in Miami. And 786 just isn't as sexy.
I agree.
So there we are, 305. We're pink because we started because of breast cancer, but we work with women with all types of cancer. And then we're the pack that always has your back. So we're here to kind of let you be ready for the things that are going to get difficult over the next few months as you go through treatment. So we've already anticipated the things you're going to struggle with, like transportation, getting your kids to school, watching your kids, going to do groceries. And so we try to assist with all those non-medical things that become challenges over time, just to try to reduce the stress a little bit, because you're already going through enough when you're dealing with this. When we started it, it was after I had gone through treatment, and my daughter was 8 months old when I started. And had it not been for our family that was like took over our lives, I don't know how we would have gotten through it. And so many women didn't have that kind of support, that we really wanted to give them a community that would help lift them up one way or another, whether it's emotional, financial, however we can help, we try to help.
Yeah, and I think that's really incredible because this is also something that people don't know that they will be experiencing and going through during these difficult times. And I think it's like you're so caught up on the medical aspect and like, what am I going to do to, save myself? And then you forget about all the other things, that are very important and definitely like essential in your day-to-day life. And it's your organization is truly incredible.
Thank you.
So thank you for that as well. And yeah.
I was going to say, like, when I got diagnosed, I was like only 3 or 4 months here in Miami. So I had moved to Miami. I had no community here. I had a couple of friends here and there. But when I was diagnosed, like, I was alone. Like, my parents are like an hour and a half. The rest of my family's in New York. So when I got the number to Rosemary, I was like, what is this? Like, what a nonprofit? Like, I didn't really know much about it. And once I connected with her, like, every single thing that the 305 Pink Pack helped me with, literally, it was a lifesaver. To this day, I just thought I was using you guys for like 6 months, 7 months. Little things that you think you don't need, like transportation. Yes, I have a car, but when you have a double mastectomy and you can't drive yourself,
can't drive for a couple weeks at least.
Yeah. Can't drive yourself when you go through chemo and you feel sick, things like that. Those little things that you don't think about, and the free Uber rides, obviously they're not free to the world, but with fundraising and stuff.
Hey, Uber, help us out.
Uber,
come on, man.
Uber, please. Those Uber rides, when I tell you, like, they came in clutch because my treatment's 30 minutes away. So for me to, drive in the car for an hour with Miami traffic, maybe 3 hours a day with, can't really T-Rex arms, that really came in clutch. People like me who have a full-time job, we don't qualify for other kinds of grants or groceries or anything like that. So little gift cards to Whole Foods really helped me a lot. I even got a henna tattoo. My head was bald and I was really insecure. So they took care. I got a henna tattoo. I got my nails done, like little things that you can't afford during, cancer treatment that made you feel like a woman and like empower you.
Just something special.
It was so special. A box of chemo stuff, a chemo kit.
Yeah.
So everything that was in that chemo kit I used, and I also donated to the next. I donated to Monica.
Awesome.
Yeah, I donated to the next one. Monica, we love you. So I think that if you're out there listening to this and you're really rich and you want to make some donations, it really it makes a difference. This pack is like, I just love them so much. And try to go to all the events as much as I can.
Thank you.
But yeah, Steph, what was your experience like with them when you first?
So Rosemary was the first person I had actually ever reached out to.
Really?
Yeah, you were my first actual connection. And I remember when I went to go see Dr. Mountner, she had given me like a little brochure about 305 Pink Pack. And I remember just like putting it in my binder and keeping it there in a safe place for when I needed it. And I remember I went through chemotherapy. I was very grateful to have my family, like right next to me. And they were with me like throughout the whole entire process, and my friends, and we had so many people cook for us, and there's like, I did not need the support, so I wanted to make sure that someone else received that support. But I do remember reaching out to you and asking you about, I remember going into it, and it was like I was at the point where I had finished chemotherapy, and they were like, all right, we're now talking about a double mastectomy with recon. And I was like, I have no idea. I have no idea. And I'm like in the medical profession, but when I got diagnosed, I was like, I know nothing, and I was like, this is my time. Like, this is my time to seek help. And I remember following you on Instagram, and it was you and Booby Troopers who like were the first two people that I reached out to. And I remember we went to go have coffee, and it was probably one of the best days of my life, because I just remember feeling so safe, and just like, I there was so much reassurance that like everything was going to be okay. And I used those pillows that you gave me, and I still have them. I travel with them, and I sleep with them every single night. And they're the heart-shaped pillows, and it's so crazy because like I put them in the washer every so often, and my cleaning lady's like, "Mama, we need to get new ones because like these don't work anymore." But like
Trauma
I refuse
bond.
to get rid of them. Yeah, exactly. But there was so many important things that like you helped me with. Your guidance was like absolutely incredible. And I remember going home and telling my parents after that coffee. We went to like it was like a coffee shop that was like super close by, and I was like, all right guys, like I'm ready to do this. And I remember my parents like looking at me like, are you sure? And I was like, no, I'm ready. Like I was like, we can schedule it on Monday. It was like a Friday, and I was like, we could schedule it on Monday, and I feel very confident. And it was great. It was awesome. And I just remember just saying, like, I can't wait to see her again. I was like so excited to see you again. And it was just such a wonderful experience.
I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah.
'Cause
That's really what we wanna make sure is that people, one, just know what to expect,
Right.
and then they feel confident with whatever decision that they make, because again, your medical decision is for you and no one else. So you have to make sure that whatever you're choosing is the right thing for you, and be confident that that decision that you make is the one that was right for right now.
Right.
10 years down the road, you may look back and be like, and that's fine. But you made the best case possible for yourself at this time. And you just want to be confident in that,
Yeah,
because that
definitely.
makes everything a whole lot easier. So, yeah, awesome.
Yeah, and even like with work, I remember feeling so stressed out that I wasn't providing for my job as I was previously diagnosed. And I remember talking to you about it, and you telling me all the experiences that you went through, and a lot of hardships and a lot of things that you had to leave behind. And I remember feeling like, okay, I'm okay, and I know that I'm doing everything that I can. And I think that's very important, for someone who's newly diagnosed, that work is always going to be there. You have to take care of yourself first and make sure you do as much as you can. And I think that was like very, very important.
Yeah, and I think that the idea of that this kind of becomes your job during your treatment, like this is your
absolutely.
focus. This is what you have to do. You have to get up in the morning, you have to go to radiation, you have to come back home and rest.
Right.
Like that is your focus. And like with our ladies, so many of them, as soon as they enroll in the program, like, okay, what can I do to help? How can I volunteer? It's like, hold on. You got to get yourself better first.
Right. Yeah.
And then,
our focus is you.
Sounds like me.
and I know, and so I'm looking at you right now. You have to focus on you first.
Right.
You're gonna get better, and then you'll have a chance to
Help
pay it
someone
forward.
else. Yeah.
And have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
you do. You get that chance, but you really need to take the time to focus on yourself first, because you can't help anybody else unless you help yourself first.
I'm like going through chemo, helping other people going through chemo.
Whoops, and that's great. I
That's
think that's awesome.
That's acceptable. So
That's wonderful. So thank you so much for everything that 305 Pink Pack does. So talk to us a little bit about what's next for 305 Pink Pack. Are there any events or anything that we can attend, but also our community and any women who wants to just like meet people? What's next for 305 Pink Pack?
sure. So this Saturday, April 13th, in Doral, we're going to be having a Spanish cancer event. So everything is going to be education in español. We're going to be talking about breast, gynecological, and colon cancers, which are the cancers that are most affecting Latina women. So we want to make sure that they have the right information, because there's a lot of incorrect information out there that they can then take to their communities and their peers. We're going to have opportunities for free screenings as well, for mammograms as well as PAPs. Not there. You'll have a certificate that you can take with you and schedule.
You're not doing them yourself.
You're not doing it there. No. But you'll have the
It's
opportunity
incredible.
to schedule that at your leisure. And then we'll have a nice breakfast as well. So it's going to be a really nice way to network and meet other women. And that's a free event that we have this Saturday. And then our big event is going to be May 10th. We're going to have a totally tubular 80s party, which is going to be our fundraiser for this year. And we're actually honoring one of our members that day, Rocio, who we're going to be sharing her journey and her experience through her treatment and with 305 Pink Pack, and just see the impact that it's made on her. So we're really excited for her to get to share her story. And I hope you guys can all be there and celebrate with us, because this is going to be a celebration of our ladies. And the more of you who go, the more we'll fundraise, which means that the more women we can help next year. Because this year we were funded for 150 women, and we were full by April 1st.
Wow.
Wow.
Like there's a
that
huge
is-
need in the community. It's crazy. And our biggest restriction as to how many women we can help is just funding.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. So we hope to see everybody May 10th.
May 10th, it's a Friday night at the
At what
Coral
time?
Gables Women's Club at 7 p.m.
So exciting. So that's amazing. I'm so excited to attend, and I'm so excited to meet so many people and honor Rocio. You said
Rocio. Yes.
That's incredible that 305 Pink Pack, gives the opportunity to honor members and stuff. So we appreciate that. We value you guys, and this is amazing. Absolutely
Thank you, guys.
amazing.
And I'm so proud of you two for putting this together. I love it. I love it. I love seeing you in action. It's amazing.
Well, I just want to say thank you, but you have been an inspiration because every time I landed in the hospital or something, Rosemary, have you heard of this before? What is this? What's happening? Am I dying? And you always had an answer for me. You never said, I don't know. Go find out somewhere. If you didn't know, you found out the answer for me. So it's people like you that we come across who, you were my mentor. And I'm sure you were Steph's mentor as well. So now this is our way of also paying it forward, is to help the people who are diagnosed in the future. So we're kind of following your footsteps.
I know, it's so
your
crazy.
inspiration.
So if there's one thing that I want to share is follow at 305 Pink Pack. Please, all you women that are watching, please follow 305 Pink Pack, and just stay tuned with all the events. Come see Crystal and I and Rosemary.
Yes.
It's so much fun.
So much
I
fun.
mean, I don't think every event that I've been to has been so much fun. Like, you leave with goodies. You always have people to meet. I've met so many incredible women.
Every age.
Literally
single
every age.
Every
all
age.
over Miami.
All over.
And the idea is just that it has to be fun. We're all in the same crappy boat there, We've all been through the crap stuff, but we just want to be able to just have fun together, let loose, and do cool things that we get to know each other in an organic way. I mean, I don't know if our paths would have ever crossed otherwise.
I agree.
So I'm grateful for that. But, it doesn't have to be the topic of every conversation we have, right? Sometimes it's
not.
just coffee.
Yeah.
Right?
And if you guys are already past treatment and you are a survivor, whether it be breast cancer, any gynecological, any kind of cancer, you just want a group to be, a part of,
And feel
join
normal.
us. Yeah, join us.
Exactly. Just check out if you go to our website, 305pinkpack.org, on our calendar of events, you'll have all the get-togethers we do. And every Tuesday at the Westchester Library from 12:30 to 1:30, we do a really fun dance class. So you can come hang out, and everybody's welcome to that. So it's just a great little community that forms there. And you'll get to see Rocio there every week. She comes every
Does
week.
she? Oh,
She
that's
is
so
amazing.
much fun.
Yes. So
That's so much
join
fun.
in. You'll have a good time.
Yay, that's so
Yay.
exciting.
Alrighty. Well,
I'm having a hot flash, so I'm gonna go get my fan.
too.
Okay.
Thank you. Wait, I'm jealous. I want to have a hot flash with you guys. All right. 305 Pink Pack. Talk breasty to me. Out. Love you guys.
Wait, is Talk Breasty to Me a play on Poison? Talk Dirty to Me? Do you know who Poison is? Do you know who Bret Michaels is? Yes. You know, you're not a child of the 80s. Good Lord.
I am. I was born in the 80s.
Yeah, but you didn't enjoy the 80s.
I was like having
89.
a major
I was asking her if the Talk Breasty to Me was a play on Poison's Talk Dirty to Me. I was like, that would be freaking awesome.
Oh.
But she's like, who? What? Well, for those of you who don't know, check out Poison's Talk Dirty to Me, and then you'll get it.
And talk breasty to me.